would you like to achieve your first million? And today, Dr. John Oda is joining us from United States. So John, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
That's a great question. The first step, I would say, you have to have the right mindset. Mindset is huge because we are in this society that we have so much stuff going on, negative, positive, everything going on. So we have to first and foremost have the right mindset. The second thing what I focus on is what I call profit stations, right? We need to build a multiple stream of income inside our business. First way we should do it is we should come up with a systemized referral program. So I worked at over 29 years, over 10,000 different CEOs worldwide.
Wow.
Right? And what I found out is they don't have a referral program. So I said, so many times you guys ask for is referrals. They might say, oh, coach, 10 times out of 10. I'll talk to their staff, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10. We add all that stuff up. I did that with a doctor, $2.5 million that he lost. Why? Because he didn't have a systemized referral program. Check this out. When you go like to McDonald's, when you go to Starbucks, everything's systemized. An 18-year-old kid can run it. Why? Because it's a systemized program. What we do for small business owners, they don't systemize it. They work in their business, but they don't work on their business to grow their business to expand. So that's the first thing. That's the second thing. So then what I'll also do, reactivation. We have old clients, right? So what people try to do, they try to make all this money, try to get new clients. Stop. It's not going to work. That's what you do. You go and you get your old clients. They like you. They love you. They might have got a little mad at you because something took place. Hey, Ralph, listen to me. I'm not sure what I did. I take full responsibility. So how about this, bro? Come on back to me. I'll give you 20% off for the first couple months. He's coming back to you now. Now you get your more clients coming back to you, right? More funds are coming to you. They know you already. You got to get new clients. Guess what happened? You got to spend 10 times as much. They got to trust you. They have to know you. They have to look you up. They have to see if you're fine. You're like, and then you might get them, right? Then I would say you have to have a systemized sales process. So I train companies all the time, right? And here's what I found out. I can have a company they're training, and the one guy might do $20,000. Another guy could do $5,000. Here's the sad thing. They're selling the same concept. What's the difference? One have a systemized sales process that he takes through, which most sales guys don't do, which I do. I script everything out. Because as you can tell, I talk, right? So if I'm talking about everything else, I need to know where the heck I'm at. I'm like, okay, I'm on this step. Let me go back to that step to close this deal, right? But it's systemized. It has to be a systemized process. And last but not least, guys, you guys have to use educational marketing. Now, most people use marketing, right? No, you want to educate them. They can look this stuff on the internet. And then you educate them and go, oh my God, Dr. John is telling the truth. I looked this stuff up. You give them stats, you give them pain points. Then you open them up and pour alcohol down them so they can have the urgency to do business with you right now. But those are the 5 steps that people do. But here's the big thing about what most people don't understand. I am the civil engineer. I'll tell you what I do. I'm the guy who look at the gutters, the foundation of your business, right? I'm not the architecture. Now, if we build a strong foundation, my God, guess what? You have a freaking strong company. Man, you can build it anywhere, do it anywhere, and make crazy amount of money. So, did I reach the 5 steps well enough? Do you agree with them, Harry?
Brilliant. Oh, absolutely. We're gonna dig deep because you touched 3 points there that I love. So I would like to stand on this, especially this one, yeah, because it's crazy out there how entrepreneurs and CEOs and large company and a small company, they spend a lot of money trying to get new clients, and they don't pay enough attention to the current clients, when you can do customer appreciation, yeah, when you can do a lot of things. You can do a lot. These current clients that you have, like you said, Dr. John, well say, is a gold mine that business have. It's actually the biggest asset. But what everybody doing? Oh, we don't care about them. Let's get all the money we have, all the resources we have, all the time we have, and we're gonna do this, take all this money, all this energy, all these to find strangers to bring them into the company. Yeah. Whether if you reverse that process, exactly what you're describing, and rather than put 80% of your money to get new people and 20% to look after your client, if you actually reverse and you put 80% of your resources to nurture these clients, to do customer appreciation, to do a dinner for them and they can invite their friends, to do things like that, you will, because the client will refer you, it will send you the people already.
I agree with you 100%.
Look, true story, my workshop speakers are leaders, yeah. Tickets are between 5K and we do promotions sometime before the event, 1,000 the ticket, yeah. I do a workshop. I'm about to do one, right? And the people, they're booking the tickets. They're getting a special discount because it comes from referral, yeah, for 1,000. And the people are booking for the workshop paying 1,000 per ticket. And these people that come into the workshop, they don't know me. But my client, I've told them, you go there and it's amazing and will change your life. And the people, the money's in my bank account, and we're looking and say, we don't know this person. This person made it. How this person? We definitely didn't put money to acquire that person. You know, we're checking where this person is coming from, and we're checking out that our clients, that they know that we're doing the workshop, are telling their friends, and they're booking. You know, so if that's why I'm saying again, you know, that the more you do for your clients, magic like that will happen. That you're doing something, and an extra income is coming to you that you don't even is counting on all this, right? So
you know what I think, Harry, is one of the biggest problems that I've seen, to be truly honest with you. People have clients, right? Then they serve them, which is great, but they don't talk to them. They don't say, hey, you know, every quarter we're gonna have a meeting. We'll figure out what I'm doing well, what I'm doing right, and how can I improve. This way, you're on top of things. If you have these people leave because of whatever took place, well, now you're what happened? I don't, because you don't talk to them. Listen to me. My clients, I talk to, hey, what's going on? How can I do a better service? Is everything fine with you? Are we good? What can I do to improve my business so I can have you as a client forever? Because that's the key. To get new clients, you know how hard it is?
Oh my goodness. Tell me about it. And expensive.
Hard.
And expensive. Not only hard.
It's 10 times as much.
Exactly. And look.
10 times as much.
Look,
well, you know,
the other thing, John, the other thing is the long-term value of the client. You know, you see these companies sometimes that they give you 6 months for free internet, yeah? And you know why? Because these companies, they understand the long-term value of a client.
Absolutely.
Yeah? They know that once you put this internet in your house and this thing works properly, you don't care if you pay $30, $50, $100. Once you put that thing in your house and it works okay, you're not changing that thing for anything in your life, especially if it's internet. So those companies understand this long-term value of the client to the point, even in my property business, John, I have one client, one tenant, pay me for a room, I think it was 800 pounds. 800 pounds for 15 years.
Well,
what do you think about that?
That's a
what do you think?
thing.
Do you understand? Rather than So the whole point of this, and I cannot stress that much. Why do you think, John, or what message do you have for entrepreneurs out there that they don't take seriously what we're talking about? Because look, let me give you a small example. Amazon. Everybody talks about everybody. Oh, Amazon is the big company, so successful, everything. But what is behind the success of Amazon? You know what? When it didn't come, it was the only company that was using all the resources to get a great customer experience. You don't like your product, we give you your money back. We don't care if we lose money. We don't care. We want to keep all you guys buying. We want to get everybody buying to get the product as faster as possible, as good as possible. Something is wrong for the product, you send it back to us, and they put all the money, time, energy, and effort in those clients that they have that were not that many, yeah, to make the process smooth so they can come back again and they can have smooth profit. Guess now. Now you buy stuff in Amazon, John, you don't even know how you bought, how you find the website on the first place. But I can tell you, it was a referral. Somebody told you. You just don't remember. But this is how everybody find out about Amazon. A friend told you, look, right here, it's amazing.
Well, exactly, and so what Amazon had, their model is a referral model. You like the Amazon and you tell 5 other people, man, Amazon's great. If they did this, man, they got the Prime, I can get it in 2 days, right? And not everyone's getting Amazon, right? Because it is a referral, right? And and what Amazon does not do well,
in the world, yeah?
Yeah, but what Amazon does not do well, the people who work there, when I buy their products and services, they don't check in with me. And here it goes, man. And if they would do a reactivation of their old clients, they'll get more clients coming through. But there's so many entrepreneurs who don't do a reactivation. You have clients. You want to do you touch base with them. Why not? Because to get a new client,
they already know you.
I mean, as you mentioned, man, most people do 80-20. They do 80% on new clients and 20% on old clients. It should be reversed. And you should have like meetings with them and conversations with them and picnics with them and sponsor some of their stuff or get them like, for Christmas time, get them wine and everything else. Get them some stuff. Why? I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much that I'm going to do whatever it takes for you to be my client.
Absolutely. But then, John, when you talk with the young entrepreneurs and you talk about this concept, they don't understand. They think that this is old school, that this is not how we do business. This is not how we do business now. When you talk to the young generation or you coach the business owner and you explain this concept to them, they thinking that we're living in La La Land because they never hear about it. They've been doing all their life in the other way. And,
absolutely. And you know what they want? They want this big old architecture building. Beautiful building. We want to do some big stuff. And guess what? It might take 5 to 10 years, but then you don't have a business. Let's go with the low-hanging fruit where we can make money. And that's all it's all about. Let me serve my clients in the highest way. And this one guy, I was talking to him one day, and him and his client had a big disagreement. So I said, this is what you do. And this client was giving him like $100,000 a year, right? So that's what you do. You apologize to him. You say, hey, man, I'm sorry. No big deal. He says, oh, no, John. I can't say that. And I said, why can't you? This is money. Oh, no. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If I got to say I'm sorry, I don't want the client. I said, listen to me. Being a business owner, we have to swallow our pride. And especially if you're wrong. 100%. You were wrong about this. I says, you're talking about 6 figures, like $8,000 a month, and you're going to say no to him because of what you messed up on? I said, call him back, give him 15% off, and he'll come back. So he did it. Guess what happened? The client came back.
Really?
The client said, yeah, man, the client said, listen to me, man, you were great to me. We just all messed up, and I know. And they apologized. The guy said, I said, man, as a business owner, man, we have to swallow our pride, 100%. Man. We have to do what we got to get done because
let's talk about
the concept is, man, we got to build that foundation.
Let's talk about this, John, because, you have 2 types of entrepreneurs out there. You have the entrepreneur, that they somehow surrender that ego. That doesn't mean that they don't have ego. All entrepreneurs have ego. Otherwise, you don't become a business owner in the first place. You have that ego that you can make something amazing for other people. Yeah. So this is a healthy ego. You were talking about mental health. Yeah. However, when ego goes too much, yeah, then you have these entrepreneurs that they have this business like everybody has to do what I say, and they make the business about themselves right down after the business. And then it's worse because when they want to sell the business, they cannot sell it because the business don't operate without them. You know, they actually devaluing the ego. The more ego they have, they actually devaluing their own business because they whether when my first business about property, I was telling to my team, don't come and ask me questions. You don't bring the solution. Everybody start to come to bring me a solution so often that one day I arrived to the office and the team told me, Harry, we don't need you. Go home. I'm like, what? I said, go home. We don't go on holiday. We don't need you. We can operate this business without you. And then
Love
literally
that.
they sent me home. Yeah, my own team because I was obsolete. Yeah. So I had to choice, So why? Because I managed to surrender that ego that I have to control everything. And when you give that up, you can experience something amazing. Yeah. But
You know,
yeah, go ahead.
let me break it down. I'm happy about the ego part. And you're right. A lot of us in business, we have an ego, right? But let me explain what we should have in business, which is what we should. We need the three. We need ego to be a great CEO. Ego, but if you have too much, you're a jerk. we have to have empathy. If you have too much, you're a wimp. And you have to have charisma. You have to be the pipe. You have to lead people. So when I say you would need 33% ego, 33% empathy, I can still listen to your story. I don't have to buy your story, but I listen to it. But 33%, we need to be able to lead people, master a lot of people. So we be the piper. So now we can lead people and everything else. No, we have those three things. Ego is fine. But let me explain to you. When I mess up, I can say, yo, man, I messed up. It's my bad. I get this. Listen to me. I take full responsibility for it, and I can move forward. Right? But that tells me that I got ego, I got empathy, and I got charisma. Because as a business owner, you want to grab the client, and they have to know that, hey, listen to me. If I make a mistake, man, I'll let you know. And I tell my clients, I will make 2 a year, but when I make a mistake, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But is my biggest thing about it is you have to have all three. And most CEOs I meet, they got ego. Very little empathy, maybe at home, around their wives,
100%.
and they have no damn charisma.
Yeah.
So people don't like them. The reason why people follow them is because they are the CEO or they are the founder. They're not because they're following them. It's because, hey, listen to me, this guy got a great idea. I can blow my business up. I can expand. That's not the reason why. And my biggest thing about it is being a leader with 3 types of leader. And I put this in my book as well. With 3 types of leader. We have a leader that is destructive / stagnation. Man, I don't even know why they're leaders because of title. We have another leader that is neutral. They don't make it worse. They don't make it better. They're smack in the middle. So they're neutral, right? But then we get these leaders who are effective, meaning that they work on themselves. They go to the seminars, they go to the workshops, and now they can work on other people. But they also have ego, they have the charisma, they got empathy. And it's all even out. So people not follow them because they are the president or else the XYZ. They're following them because they got ideals. And when they mess up, they admit it. Hey, man, I messed up. It's on me. I take full responsibility because I am the leader. Right? So, and here's the sad thing about it is, Harry, there are only 10% of effective leaders out there. That's it. The rest of them are either neutral or destructive.
So, John, what message do you have for those entrepreneurs that the CEO, that the founder, and all they say is, well, my business is not well because of my client, it's the fault of my clients, it's the fault of my employees, it's because of the economy, it's because of the hurricane, it's because of COVID.
BS. belief systems. No, as a leader, we got to take full responsibility. When I mess up
And they
to my
don't take
team,
responsibility. They blame. They keep blaming.
no.
And then
I used to work with the great Tony Robbins, right? And Tony would use something. Tony would say, we need to focus 95% on the solution, 5% on the problem. Let's turn that 5% problem into a challenge.
wow,
So when I go in my little
that's
room, I'm like, okay. I said, listen to me. What is my solution? What do I have to get done? Okay, here's it laid out to me. 95% solution, 5% problem. But man, I go to the gym every day. So, sports guy, it's a challenge. I will overcome it. I figure out some strategy. I pray to God. Okay, God, what do I do? Who do I say? Let's rock and roll now, right? Because now the solution focused. Opposed to me saying it's the economy. Opposed to me saying, well, COVID. Or opposed to me saying, oh my God, it's just so hard. Thinking we should talk about this. That's called alibis. Excuses. I don't use excuses. Now, when I mess up, I mess up. I take full responsibility.
Yeah.
Now, let me find a
the
solution.
more responsibility you take, the more actually a lot of people sometimes come to me and say, well, Harry, I want to make a lot of money. And I say, well, if you want to make a lot of money, you're gonna have a lot of responsibilities. Yeah. Do you want to have more responsibilities? And now they're thinking, because it comes hand to hand.
That's a great question. To make a lot of money, I was just talking to a client about that. You have to serve more people. I said, look at that. Now look at the great.
Be more responsible for
exactly.
When you mess up, you will need to tell to more people that you mess up. Yeah. So people have to be ready for that, right?
Absolutely. We're on the same page. And then so people say, John, these NBA basketball players make too much money. No, they don't. Think about Michael Jordan this last year. He made $30 million. He's on commercials. People will see him on things. If he served 30 million people, paid him $1, he got $30 million. The owner got $1 billion, but you don't say nothing about that. But you said that, well, he's making too much money. BS, he's not making too much money. He's bringing in the crowd. He's making the money. He's selling the jerseys. But now he can make 30 million and you guys get mad, and the owner's making $1 billion, but you don't say anything.
That's powerful.
Right? So my thing about it, I tell people, serve more people. If you want to make more money, serve more people. Figure out how you can be of service. Find the solution, solve problems. And sometimes you have to even, what I saw in my book, you have to do partnership. Figure out you can partnership with what the person who's working your audience, and then you guys can split it's a profit, but serve more people.
Then John, tell us about your books. Show it to us.
Here it goes.
Do you have them?
My book is not out. I got 2 books. So I wrote a book called Connecting with Your Team, and I wrote a book called Life's a Garden, right? So my 3rd book is, I combined both of them together. So my 3rd book is called Life is a Garden Presents Unlimited Business Growth, How to Transform Your Business, and How to Overcome Mental Barriers.
Wow.
Right? So my book is the 4 quadrants. So it's going to be a pre-sale. I think I put it on December the 16th, right? But here's the concept. It's 4 quadrants of the whole book, right? So what happens is, my first book of the guy who was a teenager, took somebody, but he blew up. This book, he blew up, but he goes in the future 30 years and see how his life got messed up. He was homeless, but then he saw how he changed his life. So he worked on the 4 quadrants. The first, I worked for a mental health for 37 years. So we used to go by the DSM-5. I created a BSSM-1. This is my first version. So B stand for the first quadrant is business, mindset, and faith. What business are you really in, right? What lifestyle of the business are you? What people don't, are you like a terrible twos trying to find your identity? Just born, excited as heck. Teenager, cocky as heck. Young adult, well, I need some help. Or maturity, I need really some help because I want to expand my business. So we have different where you're at. Where are you at personally? I met a guy who was 60 years old, but he's a teenager. He think he knew everything. So I knew that when we meet, we're gonna probably work together for a couple months because he's gonna think that he knows more than me and do it himself. We get that, and of course, people, they lose their business. Why? Because they don't know everything. No one knows everything, right? So when we focus on faith, we focus on spirituality, we focus on having a mastermind group, right? That's the first part. And then the symptoms of a business behavior. How's the leadership, all right, of the CEO and the leadership? How is the culture of the business? How is the management team of the business?
Very important.
And how is the mental health is in the workplace? Then we systemize only 3 systems. We systemize the sales process with NLP for sales. We systemize the marketing. We systemize time management. You don't want to be a bobblehead. And then monetize. How do I make money now? We talked about we talked about the reactivation. We talked about the referral program, right? How do we, so I use 6 of my most powerful techniques. Now I have 25 of techniques to grow any business rapidly without using very little a bit of money. And last but not least, I do a case study, 6 case studies. And I break down every quadrant of what they did. We had some of them, grow their business 15% in 3 years.
Wow.
Right? We have some of them that were the business easy, but we have some of them who didn't work out well with us because they had issues, underlying issues that they didn't deal with as a child.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, John, let's talk about this because but first, your books, we can find them in Amazon, right?
Yes, right. So so all my books, my 2 books is published. They're all in Amazon. One's for if you have teenagers, great book. One's more about, I grew up in a mini farm back in Indiana, right? And I wrote about the farm and what I got from the farm. And so I said, Life's the Garden. And my dad, so I come from 8 of 10. So I'm number 8 with 10 biological siblings.
Wow.
No steps. Biological, right? Parents were married for 67 years. So when my dad died in 2014, I wrote this book. And this book's more on mindset and on faith and what I learned about the garden principles. Because we use them in life because we plant seeds. So what every seed you plant will grow. Negative or positive, it's going to grow. So in my 3rd book, I just combined everything together.
Mm-hmm. So John, why you decided to become an entrepreneur then? Was your father was an entrepreneur? Did somebody in your family in India?
Nobody. My dad.
Brothers. So what happened?
My dad worked two jobs. My dad worked 80 hours a week.
Wow.
For 40 years. For 40 years. And
40 years.
40 years, right? And
wow.
Then my mother was a midnight.
Because guys, you were too many, no? You were too many, so he had to work a lot to make money, huh?
He worked to make some money because he was not an entrepreneur, and my mother was an RN nurse at nighttime. So we were middle class family. We went to a private school, right? So what made me become an entrepreneur? So after I graduated high school, I went to college, right? But I worked at my dad's factory. Man, that was the hardest job in the world. 120 degrees in there.
What was the factory?
It was called Blossom, and what they did is they made the upholstery for cars, right? And it was nasty and yucky. Oh my God, it was terrible. So I worked there the whole summer. So then I met this guy.
What do you work there, John, to make an extra bucks or what?
Yeah, man, I worked in the summertime. I worked from 7 o'clock till 3:30. And I was making, imagine, 1983. I was making $5 an hour. Now, that was a lot of money back in 1983.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm making $5 an hour. And I said, okay, fine. So then I went to college. And I met this guy, and he was doing this thing called A.L. Williams. Buy term and invest the difference. He says, man, we're looking for insurance guys. I said, man, I'm not an insurance guy. He said, but John, you'd be great at it. He says, man, I'm making $1,000 for every time I close a deal. I said, really? And man, I was hooked. I said, I got it. So I got my insurance license, went to some training, X, Y, and Z, and I started doing that. So, so I was making about maybe at the factory job, bring home about maybe $1,000, $800 per month, right? This new job, man, I was making a couple $1,000s a month at first. And I was just talking to people. showing them insurance, buy term, invest in difference, X, Y, and Z. And I started getting my personality. I started figuring out how to sell, everything else, man. And this stuff started getting phenomenal. So even like my third year at the business, I was making $10,000 a month. Now, let me explain to you. Back then, that's a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Now, it's still a lot of money.
Absolutely. Which year
right?
was
Which year was I was making $10,000 a month. And I was recruiting people. Instead of like 25 people, I was training them, doing X, Y, and Z, because you have to duplicate yourself. It was a multi-level marketing. So, man, I got it. I love this. I was doing sales myself, making money. They're doing sales. They had a little percentage of what they made. And I was like, cool. And that's what introduced me to business. Because my mom and dad, man, they worked. Loved them to death. Mom and dad, God rest your soul. If
they
dad would still be alive.
Better, they didn't know better. My parents, they're teachers, so they told me, go to university and study and you're going to be okay. So I went to university. I got a degree in chemical engineer. Never used my degree in my life for anything.
So I've been in business. Literally, I've been in business. No, I'll take it back. I've been in business when I was in high school. So we used to have this program called Junior Achievement, right? So after basketball practice, I would go to Junior Achievement in my sophomore year. It would make products. We would sell them. So I started my business is career at Junior Achievement. I used to be a paper boy making money. I used to shovel snow and rake leaves for money. So I was doing business all my life because that's how you make money. When you have two kids.
How about your brothers? Is anybody else have a business out of the 8 brothers? Only you?
Out of my 3 brothers, no, they're all workers. They all worked. Out of my 6 sisters, I have 1 sister that is an entrepreneur. She is very well off even right now, and she's number 2. And
she's an artist entrepreneur.
Yeah, so she does more of like a grant writing. And then she got after school programs, so she's doing extremely well. Even now, she's doing well, right? So yeah, I only have 1 sibling, and I got a couple of them that hits here and there for like entrepreneurship, but it was really me because I wanted something different.
Why your siblings think about you? Because you clearly doing something different.
They think I'm crazy.
The family.
They think I'm crazy.
Tradition. Are they happy? They're concerned. They worry about you. They don't.
No, man. Listen to me. I am the baby boy, right? And I always think of things of how to actually get done. When you're not an entrepreneur family, when you don't know as an entrepreneur, you think that a person's crazy, right? Yeah. For doing this work, for not having the secure income, for just going out there.
And that's the conversation on the family around all the time. Oh, look, this guy. My family still nobody understand really well what I do. Because I'm doing a lot of things.
My only support I had was my mom. My mom said, "Baby, you can do it." She believed in me before I believed in me.
Wow, was amazing.
Mom and dad. Mom would have been 92 right now, and she died 6 years ago. My dad died 10 years ago at 91. He would have been 101. So I had older parents, and I love older people. They're so smart. There's no competition. They're not trying to compete against me or X, Y, and Z. I love older people. I love them. At the gym, I go to the gym every day. I talk to guys 80, 90 years old. What? They're in great shape, and they're smart.
Wow,
and they teach me something.
Really?
Yes. They teach me something. I want to learn. I'm still green, man. I want to learn. I'm not right. I want to learn. I can learn from even a baby can teach me because I have no ego, man. I want to learn. One of my human needs is growth. I want to learn. I want to learn everything. I'm a learner. But then again, I have this entrepreneur spirit. Then I want to create it into a business. Let's make it to a business here. Let's all make some money. Right. So that's all my whole theory.
Then what do you think about the people that that the entrepreneurs out there that they're young and they think that they know everything, right? And then when you talk, say, look, and then they are struggling and they're losing money and they're worried, they're stressed out, they're shouting to everyone. They don't have time to see the family. They don't have time to see. But then, when say, look, let me bring you John, because he's a coach and can help you. And then what the approach that they have is, well, I don't need coach from anybody. I don't need help from anybody. I can figure out myself, right? And again, and every day, they're in this rat rate, losing money, not losing money, losing the relationship, getting divorced, having migraine, getting sick, and still they are holding on to that ego. I'm Mr. CEO. I know everything, and I don't need help for everybody. But then when you look at the numbers, and when you look the life they have, the life is a mess, the business is a mess, and everything is a mess. So what message do you have for those entrepreneurs, John, and what is going to take for them to open, like I said, to surrender? Because I was there myself when I beat my first.
And so in my book, we mentioned about lifestyles, right? Of the life cycle of a business. You just named a teenager. Now think about this, Harry. Imagine a 16-year-old kid with $1 million. Do you think they're gonna listen to you or anything else? Not even remotely close, right? So with every stage, we have to go through that, but they have to be aware, and they have to say, okay, what is this going to cost me if I keep up with this behavior? It might cost me my family, it might cost me my business, and I got to work for a JLB, right? But people don't never ask about the risk. Okay, if I continue with this behavior, what is it going to cost me 5 years from now, 10 years from now, right? What if it cost me so far from not doing X, Y, and Z, right? That's why I believe that everybody could think about it. When I was playing basketball, I had a coach. I had a basketball coach, I had a shooting coach, I had a fitness coach, I had all these coaches, right? Because the coach, what the coach does, we look at their blind spots. Look at what you're missing for. My job is not to be your friend. My job is to be friendly to you, to help you grow your business. And what most coaches do, especially the young ones, they want to be their friend. Are you kidding me? I'm not being your friends. I'm not being your friend. I'll be friendly. We can talk. I can motivate you. I can be everything else that you want to, but I'm not your friend. My number one goal is to grow your business. And if I grow your business, guess what happened? Man, your wife is happy. Woohoo! And a happy life, and a happy wife, a happy life, right? Your kids could go to the best schools in the world. Why? Because you have the money now. You can't send them to just, they can say, Dad, I want to go to Oxford. Well, son, you got the grades. We have it. I want to go to Stanford. No problem. Notre Dame, no problem. Why? Because you have the money. Because why? You took advice. So I was listening to Think and Grow Rich a couple of days ago, right? And Darby. Darby was a guy who wanted to get gold. And he got all his friends and family some money, and he found the richest gold line in Colorado, right? And he was like, boom. But what happened was, in Darby days, the gold line stopped. And they was trying to find the gold line, I couldn't find it and everything else. He said, forget about it. He sold it to a junkyard guy. He called it junkyard. I call this guy a genius. They sold it to him for $500 back in the day, $1,800, $500, right? He got it. So this junkyard, which I call genius, what he did was he got expert advice. When he got expert advice, they found the vein. And it was the richest one in Colorado. What I got from that was they got expert advice. If you have a problem or a challenge, get expert advice. Because then it can tap inside the richest gold mine, the richest gold vein in there, and your business can explode. Now listen to your business explode, man, your wife will love you. Or man, your girlfriend would just cherish you if you have a girlfriend. Or else your kids would be amazing. And then you can build a legacy. You can build a generational wealth now. Right? But most people, they get inside this attitude that I can do it. Man, no way, man. Man, I find someone who's smarter than me. Please teach me. Teach me.
Yeah.
I'm ready to learn.
Yeah, look at you, John, and you see the thing is that for people for the entrepreneur to ask for help, first they need to surrender the ego and to say, okay, I don't know, and I need to learn. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I agree. When you take this approach, you will see how easy it's gonna be your life, and how happy you're gonna be, and how happy.
I agree.
Because if you think that you know all, these. Let me tell you something about knowledge. Yeah, Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, all these people. Yeah, today, if you take away all the money, all the houses everywhere, and you leave them there in Florida, United States, yeah, with no money on the street, yeah, after a year they're all multimillionaires again.
Absolutely. I don't think a year.
Why?
No.
Maybe less, yeah, but why? Why? If with no money, nothing. Why? Because they know something.
I mean, I don't think
It's,
they'll be
it's
back
only
to the
knowledge.
billionaire in a year, but they'll be back in the billionaire within 3 or 4 years. I agree with you 100%. Because here goes, once you have it, you never lose it. But it's a big thing, you gotta have it. I tell people I don't ask feedback from everybody. When I ask feedback, I want to learn because I'm a learning mode. I'm okay, let's teach me because I don't know this. All right.
It's all about
so many
knowledge.
people, but what people got to understand, one small thing, I'm happy you mentioned this one. Knowledge is potential power. Action is power. And act, I mean, get expert advice who can help you grow, expand, and build that wealth that you can never imagine is go beyond your thinking. Because what I do, man, I know you like me, you want to learn the best, be the best and do the best. The only reason why that we can do that, man, is iron sharpens iron. Be around people just like us.
Mm-hmm. So, John, thank you so much. This conversation has been amazing. So, tell us, if some entrepreneurs wants to work with you, want to grow the business, want to learn more about how to empower the referral system, something that you talked today that was really, really powerful, in the same way that how to work on your existing client base, how to create customers appreciation events, how to nurture your actual clients and make that the priority, and those clients can bring you more and more and more. Yeah, this is something that we do in our own business. It's amazing. So how people can find you, how the process works?
So anyway, I got two ways. I got a 1-800 number, and I also got a website. So let me hit to the website. So the website is, I'm gonna spell it off to you guys. So it's Unlimited Business Growth Plan. So it's B as in boy, G as in girl, P as in Paul, dot, P as in Paul, N as in Nancy, P as in B as in boy, C as in cat, group.com. So it's ubgp.pnbcgroup.com. My phone number, and you should have my link, my phone number is 888-778-8774.
That's
fantastic. And Harry, man, I appreciate the conversation. It was fun. I had a great time.
You're brilliant.
I had a great time, man. Thank you so much.
I think, John, that I think you're brilliant, and you do know what you're talking about. Yeah. And I think that we need to open more, the consciousness for the entrepreneurs out there. Because in my own life, when my first 2 years in my property business, I was doing everything myself. I was wearing all the hat. I have this big ego. I'm the boss. I do everything. Now I'm not gonna hire anybody. I'm gonna do everything. Guess what happened? I'm making money, but after 2 years, I'm exhausted.
You got burnt out.
I cannot even function. I'm so tired. So I have no more choice to hire people because so I had to surrender my ego because I couldn't actually function. So I said, okay, you know what? I need to hire these people. I need to start to trust in people. Yeah. To give the keys of the house to my team. I said, look, you rent the rooms, and the people, yeah. But when magic happened, because the people that come out to work in the business, all of them were better than me at everything. And I was happy that they were better. I'm just like, man, I was telling to everybody, you won't believe the people that I'm hiring. They're doing the job so better than me. And like I tell you a story, to the point that they were all so good at everything that they literally sent me home. True story. So and I think this is the whole purpose of the entrepreneurs. I think making that business and do the right processes, the right systems, in order that you become obsolete in your own business, so you can go and work on your business because you want to, not because you have to, and you can oversee and help this little bit in that strategy. What is going to be the small thing that is going to have a big, huge result? This is something that really the entrepreneur should be focused on that. But for that, you have to be a learner like John, and for that, you need to ask for help, something that John and Hans today. He's talking about qualified help. Yeah, what that
Absolutely.
means is and this is an issue in business, that everybody come to give you advice, your employees, your family, everybody want to give you advice, everybody tell you how you should be growing the business, but there is an issue with this, which is they're not qualified to give you advice because then they are no entrepreneurs. Maybe the advice could be good, yeah, and this is true story, yeah. This is my dad gave me advice for my business, yeah. I don't take it seriously. Then somebody like John came, gave me the same advice. Then I take it. Then I do it. Then my dad is telling me, "Look, I told you, you don't listen to me. Then you go and listen to other people," and I'm still after 20 years trying to articulate to that there is nothing wrong with what he told me, and I love him so much, but I only take qualified advice and. For people that have the business, and I'm very grateful. I know he wants the best for me, and I know that he can feel it, that if I do that, my business can grow. But he never owned a business before. He never grew a multi-million business pound before. So I cannot put in the same way that advice coming from Daddy that the advice coming from John, because the John advice, even if it's not my family, if it's I don't know it so well, it have heavy weight in the scale of decision, because it's someone that actually done it and achieve it. Yeah. And I think that this is something that that's important to say, because I know you repeated it several times, John. You're talking about qualified advice, about qualified.
Absolutely.
About qualified.
Absolutely.
And you mentioning that qualify. So I want to stress on that, what this qualify means, because people go there, no, I hire a coach. No, it's not about hiring a coach. You need to hire a qualified coach that actually have achieved what you want to achieve. You need to see
Absolutely.
the track record of that person.
A track record, the success. And here it goes. If the coach is great enough, only my opinion on it, if the coach is great enough, they should tell you how much they can grow your business. Most times I tell a company, I say, man, I can double your business in 12 months. But you have to do what you have to get done. We have to work together to get that stuff done.
Absolutely.
Here it goes. If you do what I tell you to do, and it give you a couple of days, if I say yes, do this, you wait for a month, well, we have a problem. You do it ASAP, man, we can grow. I mean, and here's the thing, is here what people are saying, companies are easy to grow. Easy to grow. People make it so hard. People make business so hard and so easy, right? Because, Jay Abraham said there's only three ways to grow a business, and 3 ways only. But if you work off of that model and grow your company, it's an easy thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's another way, guys. You guys can get a hold of me. You just Google me at drjohnloader.com. I should pop up everywhere.
Very good.
On the internet anyway, so you can contact me anyway. But Harry, man, I do appreciate your time, and I had fun with you,
so
man.
much.
I mean, so you seem like a fun person. So the next time I go to UK, mate, I'll find you and somehow we can hang out.
Absolutely. I travel to US often. I'm going next month anyway.
So what part of the US?
Miami.
Miami's nice.
My half sister is getting married. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So I'm going for a wedding over there. Yeah. So thank you so much, John. I really, really appreciate your time. And for all of you following this Unstoppable podcast in Spotify, Apple, and social media, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable. How great entrepreneur that John may break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with the world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.